All right. This your boy Mitch TV coming to you straight off the hip. The Card Chronicles, another episode. I forgot what count of episode we left off on, but another episode. Just want to thank all the people that subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I have 1,400 subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, like, commenting, and subscribing, and also sharing the videos. All right, we're going to talk about some sports, and then we're going to talk about some other things too, uh, like Steph Curry's shoe deal, Shaduer Sanders' season debut, LeBron James and the Lakers, and, and all sorts of things we're going to talk about in this podcast episode. So let's get this out the way. Let's talk about Shaduer Sanders. So this past Sunday, which is yesterday, Shaduer Sanders made his season debut with the Browns after Dylan Gabriel suffering a concussion. And most likely, anytime a player suffers a concussion in the NFL, they're usually out 2 to 4 weeks, depending how severe the concussion is. So Dylan Gabriel, he got sacked and then he hit his head on the turf, which I saw the replay, and he went face first. So he hit the front of his head. So he's in concussion protocol. 9 times out of 10, it's an automatic 2 weeks. And then if it doesn't get better, he's going to be out for another 2 weeks. So Shaduer Sanders was going against a ferocious Ravens defense that done sacked him about 3 times, maybe. And people on the internet saying, "Oh, he did a horrible job," and it just made me think, y'all are the stupidest spectators of fans ever. If you're going against the Ravens, a team that is known for their defense traditionally, and you're going to put a rookie quarterback on an opposing team to go against a ferocious defense, you're bound to get your ass ramsacked almost every play. And people talking about, well, Shaduer, he didn't do well. He threw an interception. Yes, he did. When you got DBs flying everywhere, safeties trying to sack you, and linemen trying to sack you, of course you're going to get scared. People got to forget, this was Shaduer's first official NFL game. That preseason game he played, that was nothing. If you watch a lot of sports, watch what the former NFL players are saying. When Shaduer played that preseason game, yeah, he looked good. But they said he was only playing with the 2s and the 3s in that preseason game. And here's the thing, Kevin Stefanski, you is a horrible coach. Yes, you won Coach of the Year twice as a Browns coach. But you think you is the coldest coach ever. You're trash. And here's why you're trash. You're supposed to be this type of a wizard, but you can't even get along with your quarterbacks. Number one, you hated Baker Mayfield. You forced him to get traded away. Now Baker Mayfield's holding it down in Tampa Bay. Then you hated the fact they got Deshaun Watson. You really don't care that much for Deshaun Watson. Then you hate Shaduer Sanders because he's being himself and you're trying to bury him, make him look like shit. Kevin Stefanski knew what he was doing. If you watch all the ESPN commentary, the Fox Sports commentary, all the podcasts that's ran by professional former professional NFL athletes, they said, how did that work if you never ran practices with the ones and you always got 2s and 3 reps and you ran with the practice squad? So Shaduer never ran reps with the ones. He always did it with the 2s, 3s, and the practice squad people. So, and then you're going to throw him in. And here's the crazy part. They got Bailey Zappi. Kevin Stefanski knew what he was doing. Because Kevin Stefanski, he knew that if I put Bailey Zappi in and don't put Shaduer in, then, then I could preserve Shaduer. I could keep that mystery of how Shaduer is going to play. But you threw him in a bad situation on purpose against a Ravens defense that fly everywhere. And them dirty birds was getting at that man. You knew what you was doing. And he's trying to bury Shaduer. Kevin Stefanski is, you could tell. This remind me of Shanahan and Jay Gruden, what they did to RG3. Shanahan, like prime example. And I know people going to say, oh, RG3 was, no. RG3 was favored by the owner. Shanahan loved Kirk Cousins. He hated RG3 because he knew RG3 wasn't going to fall for the BS. The owner, Dan Snyder, loved RG3. RG3 gets drafted. Shanahan hates RG3. RG3 messes knee up on the last game of the season or the second to last game of the season. And then Shanahan pressured RG3 to play in the playoffs, told him to put a knee brace on and play. If you're really about winning for the team, you need to play. Where doctors was saying he need to sit out for the playoffs. And what happened? Shanahan purposely did that to ruin RG3's career because he wanted Kirk Cousins. And I don't care what people say. I know that's Shannon Sharp's guy, but Shanahan ain't shit. Yeah, he won a Super Bowl, but you could have had another Super Bowl with Washington if you just did right by RG3. That's why Shanahan ain't, that's why he will never get a coaching gig. Number one, he's too old. Number two, he's got too much ego. So, and his son, Kyle, he's a choke artist too as a coach. So, but let's get back to Kevin Stefanski. He knew what he was doing. He was trying to bury Shaduer. You put Shaduer in a bad situation where you're trying to make him look bad on purpose, and you knew Bailey Zappi was more suited for that situation than Shaduer. And you knew that Shaduer wasn't going to have no chemistry with the ones because he never took any reps with the ones. Any. That's just like this. I'm going to put it in basketball sense. Let's just say you play college ball, and a lot of people don't know, in D1 basketball, they have the players that's on the active roster. They have the red shirt players and they have the practice players. People don't know that in college they have practice players. And practice players are the guys who's not D1 level. They're borderline D1 level, but they're good in D2, but they're borderline D1 level. And their job is to practice with the players. And a lot of times, that's their job, to practice. They don't get no scholarship, none of that. It's kind of like your freshman phenom player that's coming in on scholarship, that's getting chosen by the AD, but the coach don't like them, and you don't have your freshman phenom run scrimmages with the starters and the reserves. You make them run scrimmages with the practice players. That's what Stefanski's doing. And then when you run scrimmages and you running plays and reps with people that's not in the starting or in the reserves, you don't build no chemistry. So you could tell Shaduer had no chemistry with any of the receivers. You could tell he had no chemistry. Even you could tell he had no chemistry with his O-line. Because if Shaduer had that chemistry, then he would have played better. But he got put it in the game blindly. Stefanski knew what he was doing. He's trying to sabotage that man at the end so he can say, I told you so, he wasn't that good. It's a humbling process. That's what he's doing. Yes, Shaduer did come into the league cocky and boisterous. Yes, he did say the wrong things. Yes, but it don't give you no right trying to humble that man. You let the game humble Shaduer. That's what needs to happen. You let the game humble. Like, prime example, Kobe Bryant. And I know people going to say, well, Shaduer not on Kobe level. I don't give a fuck. Kobe Bryant came in to the NBA as a cocky 18-year-old boy. Yes, he was cold. He was everything. But he got humbled because when he ran up against Michael Jordan, Mike bust that ass. And that humbled him. When he ran up against Allen Houston, Glenn Rice, Jerry Stackhouse, Allen Iverson, boy, Kobe got the ass handed to him. And what Kobe did, he got humbled. When Kobe was trying to big dog Shaq in the playoffs and missed those 3 air balls against Utah, it humbled Kobe. What Kobe do? He came back and worked. Phil Jackson didn't humble him. Phil Jackson let the game humble Kobe. And Kobe went back into the lab and worked. And look at Kobe now, a 5-time champion, 1-time MVP, 18, 19-time All-Star, 9 defensive teams, about 15, 16 All-NBA team selections. That's why he worked. So that's what Shaduer need to do. He need to go back in the lab and work. But if Stefanski was smart, he should have let the game humble him. Let the game of football humble Shaduer. And watch what Shaduer would do. He gonna go back work. He gonna go back and work. And now, guess what? People saying, oh, Shaduer might start against the Raiders. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Stefanski is gonna pull some BS again. He's going to activate Bailey Zappi, make Bailey run with the ones. Shaduer might get 1 or 2 reps with the twos, and then maybe with the one. He gonna get majority with the twos, maybe 1 or 2 reps with the ones, and Bailey Zappi's gonna end up starting against the Raiders this coming up game. What's gonna happen? And then people gonna say, oh, why Shaduer ain't starting? And then Stefanski gonna say, oh, he wasn't ready. He didn't prepare. No, it's not that he didn't prepare. You don't like his ass. You trying to humble him. Let the game humble that man. So, but what's going to happen? Kevin Stefanski, he already know he's going to get fired. He's going to get fired. I'll be surprised if the Haslam family keep this man. Because, you got the Browns to the playoffs because because you realized Baker was good. And you had a defense. And you had Denzel Ward in that backfield. You had Myles Garrett in that front in them trenches, a trench baby, a real trench baby. You had a decent O-line. You had Baker holding it down for the quarterbacks. So the Browns is good. The Browns is good. Let me get off the Browns. Let's go ahead and talk about another topic. I could rant all day about this. All right. Next thing, Steph Curry. There's rumored, and it's been floating the internet, that Nike is trying to pursue Steph Curry. There was a rumor that was going around that's thinking that Nike is going to offer Steph Curry a $700 million contract. Like a 10-year, $700 million contract. Or, here's the thing. Steph Curry can't sign to Nike. Here's why. Gilbert Arenas had a live stream the other day. Brandon Jennings, which is one of Steph Curry's close friends, and Under Armour co-worker or Under Armour endorsee or co-endorsee. Brandon Jennings revealed this. Steph Curry owns all his IPs to his shoes. He owns the Curry brand. The only clause in Steph Curry's contract is he cannot sign to Nike. That's called a competition clause. And a lot of times when you work for a multi-billion-dollar company and you are a high-paid employee or high-paid endorsee, guess what? There's always clauses that you can't sign to other companies. Like, you can't. Like, you can either leave and start your own brand or that's it. Like Tiger Woods. I think he had a similar contract. When Tiger Woods left, I think he had a competition clause also. He couldn't sign to no other brand because he was with Nike. So what Tiger Woods did, he started his own brand. Kobe had the same clause too. He couldn't sign with no other brand. Even though Kobe died, but you know what? Even Kobe died before he got out of his contract because rumor has it, Kobe was going to actually leave Nike and start the Mamba brand like Jordan did. But Kobe died before the Mama brand took off. And I already know people going to say, oh, the conspiracy theories, Nike killed Kobe because they don't lose. No, be quiet. Just be quiet. I don't care. But let's get back to Steph Curry. Steph Curry has that competition clause where he cannot sign back with Nike. So what's the only thing? Start his own brand. Because if he start his own brand, Under Armour can't really do nothing unless he makes Curry brand a full subsidiary brand where they're under the Under Armour umbrella, but he owns everything. Where it's kind of like a record label. It's kind of like you signing a distribution deal with a record label where the label is they produce your product, but you're the one that got to pay for the marketing, the designing, all of the other stuff. It's just the label do the production. That's what I think the Curry brand is going to be. It's going to be under Armour, but it's going to have its own thing. Just like the Jordan brand. So if Steph Curry now I'm just going to say this. If Steph Curry ever went to Nike will have to front that contract with Under Armour. Means Nike would have had to pay. They would have had to pay out that contract just to get Steph Curry, which Nike can do it. Let's just say this, and I'm just guesstimating. If Under Armour had a competition clause on Steph Curry's contract was like this, and it was worded like this. If Steph decided to sign with a brand like Nike would have to pay them $20, $30 million, something like that. Guess what? That's one check for Nike. If Nike really wanted Steph Curry and they had a clause like that, they'll send the bread easily. They'll say, when? Okay, we'll wire the bread tonight. And there's clauses like that where you sign with that, the brand can front the money. So, but that's one thing. So Steph Curry, him starting the Curry brand, and Steph got maybe 5 to 7 more years left in the league. People might say, oh no, he got 5 to 7 years left in the league. So yeah. But yeah, look out. It's a lot of rumors saying, Steph might sign with Nike. I don't think that's true because Brandon Jennings revealed it on a live stream saying he has a competition clause in his contract. All right, next thing. LeBron James. So LeBron James is set to come back soon after after he has some nerve damage, suffered some nerve damages. And some people is thinking that the Lakers can win without LeBron, which is the most delusional shit ever. I'm just gonna be serious. The Lakers are a good regular season team, but a horrible playoff team. They've been like that for the last 3 years. They're good in the regular season, but they get they ass mollywopped in the playoffs every time. Every time. Look, the Lakers going to win 55 games this year. They're going to be number 2 or 3 in the West. They're going to run into, they're going to go through the first round. Whoever they beat in the first round, it might be somebody, whoever, like Sacramento or Memphis or whoever, knock them boys out. They're going to mess around and run into OKC and get their ass swept. Or they might run into Denver, get their ass swept. That's it. The only team, or if they run into Minnesota, they're going to get swept. Or only team I can see them beating is maybe the Clippers. Clippers might be the most evenly matched team with the Lakers. So I would love to see the Clippers and the Lakers playoff. That'll be like it'll be like the battle of the old people. But Lakers are a good regular season team. When LeBron James come back, Austin Reeves ain't gonna be averaging 30 again. His points gonna go from 30 to 19, maybe 17, 18 points. He's gonna go from 30 to 18. Luka's gonna still average 30 because Luka don't have to adjust his game for nobody. Austin Reeves have to. And people talk about Austin Reeves is playing at all-time level. Oh my God, he's playing at all-time level. He's better than LeBron. He's better than everybody in it. Shut the fuck up. Austin Reeves is Gordon Hayward with 5 new 2K badges. That's all. If you create Gordon Hayward and you put about 5 2K badges on him, that's Austin Reeves. That's it. Austin Reeves, the reason why he got freedom, but here's the thing. When it comes to the playoffs, Austin Reeves can't even guard a pole. Look what happened in the playoffs when he went against Minnesota. Look what Ant-Man was doing. Ant-Man was giving that man work. Ant-Man was giving Austin Reeves work. He was working that man. Ant-Man was averaging 30 on Austin Reeves' head, giving him work. Year before that, when they played Denver, what Jamal Murray did, gave Austin Reeves work. He gave that man work. Put 30 on his head. So don't ever think, y'all be thinking Austin Reeves is so cold. Yeah, he's good, but he's not on that level. Austin Reeves can't even play defense. I know somebody gonna say, but James Harden can't play defense either. But James Harden is like 10 times better than Austin Reeves. When James Harden actually plays defense, he's pretty okay. But I'm telling you, when LeBron come back, Austin Reeves ain't averaging 30. He's going to be averaging 18 points. You're going to start seeing that man hit donuts. You're going to see that man putting up 5, 6 points, 10 points here, 15 points here. That it's going to go from 30 to 18. LeBron's going to get his 25, 6 and 6. And the one thing you can say about LeBron, he's going to have that 25, 6 and 6. You can book it. So I know a lot of people going to be thinking that. But you understand. But when LeBron come back, Lakers going to still win 55 games and they're going to get blown out in the first round. That's it. I don't have no faith in my Lakers going to the Western Conference Final. Only way they go to the Western Conference Finals if, let's just say, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander sprained his knee. He's out for 4 weeks. Jokic get hurt. Ant-Man get hurt. Steph get hurt. KD get hurt. Then the Lakers got a clear path to go to the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, I forgot. Houston. If the Lakers play Houston, KD giving work. And guess what? Houston ain't no slouch. Our man Thompson, he gonna get Austin Reeves work. He gonna give that boy work. And guess what? And Houston gonna be a monster. People forget that. Houston gonna be a monster. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about some LeBron news about free agency. So even though I was just ranting about LeBron and all of that, I think LeBron might get traded. So if everything goes well, LeBron will leave in free agency. But let's just say LeBron comes in, he start pouting, having a fit, moping around, he mad because he ain't getting the ball, all of this. Austin Reeves taking up all the shots. JJ Redick's not catering the offense to him. Then you're going to see LeBron ask for a trade or he get a buyout. But here's the thing. LeBron's making $50 million. So the only way the Lakers could get rid of LeBron is a buyout. But knowing LeBron, he going to want all his money. But if LeBron gets super fed up with the Lakers, he might just say, pay me 30 and I'm gone. That's the buyout price. LeBron might say, give me 30 and I'm gone and you can amnesty the rest. Means you can pay me in the back end. Easily. Remember, LeBron got a no trade clause. That was stupid. They should have never gave him that. The only way they could get rid of LeBron is LeBron has to pick where he want to go. And if LeBron picks to where he want to go, he going to want to go to Golden State, Cleveland, all of that. But here's the thing. I don't think Dan Gilbert, the owner of Cleveland Cavaliers, I don't think he want LeBron. He said it. He said this a few years ago when LeBron left 7 years ago from Cleveland, the second time around. He told somebody in the media he is glad LeBron is gone because now he can finally have his team back because LeBron held his team hostage for 4 years. Ain't that crazy? That man had held Dan Gilbert hostage for 4 years. So Dan Gilbert's happy. He's super happy. I don't think Dan Gilbert will take LeBron back. Who knows? Because Dan Gilbert, he's like this. I won my one ring and I'm good. I can just do whatever I want. And guess what? And I remember Gilbert Arenas said this years ago. He said most owners just want one championship ring and that's it. Once they get one championship ring, they be like, all right, I got the ring. Now I can just build a regular playoff team, get to the playoffs, that's it. Build the money, that's it. If we make it to the finals, we make it to the finals. If we don't, we don't. That's it. Most of these owners don't care about winning. Because when you make it to the playoffs, yeah, you make more money. But when you make it to the finals and win and you got to pay all these players, it's going to cut into it because now you got to pay all these people. Now you got to do all of this and all. Look, it only pays off in the back end, not in the front end. And most of these owners like the stuff that's in the front end. So, yeah. If LeBron do go, LeBron's going to go to a team that he want to contend. But if LeBron really want to leave, he's going to have to give up some of that money in a buyout and go to a contender. So trading LeBron is impossible because he's 41 years old. Now, if this was 30-year-old LeBron making $50 million, 29 teams is going to ask for LeBron's services. But since this is 40-year-old LeBron, it only might be one or two teams that's going to ask for him. So tell me what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about the whole ordeal. This your boy, Money Rich TV, and I'm out.